Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz, Shauketaly.
And a very good evening to you and welcome to Newsline Live. Once again, the focus is, as if it has ever departed, is of course the economy. Sri Lanka is not the wealthiest of nations, we would all agree on that. And so the people's mindset is mainly on the economy. Obviously has been also been affected by the pandemic. But everyone's wondering what next in terms of the economy. We thought we'd speak about better governance and on those lines, and we've got here with us the former governor, President's Council as well, Mr. Maitri Gunratna. Very good evening to you, Maitri.
Good evening, Faraz.
When this government came in, the bottom line is this. In Sri Lanka today, we have a near non-political president, and we have an altogether new opposition. There is none of these schematics of Ranil Wickremesinghe and all that business. It's like a new page.
Correct.
And we've got a new opposition who did remarkably well to get their 54 seats together, despite being pulled in all sorts of directions and their legs being cut and so on. And so it appears to me that there's been a wonderful opportunity for the President and the legislature to work together in harmony for the greater and immediate benefit of the country. Unfortunately, what we see in practice is quite different. The pandemic was another opportunity to see an all-party response to the whole business, but the government, not that they haven't done badly, but they've done, but they could have used this opportunity to bring together, to get unity. And that, on an international fora, would have helped us better than it has done today.
Yeah, Faraz, as you said, the non-political president.
Yeah.
I think this would have been a golden opportunity for us to have gone beyond all political lines. I think what has happened to the president is he was banking a hell of a lot on these Vietmaga people.
Yeah.
And they have, I think, let him down, or they have not been able to live up to the expectations the president thought they portrayed themselves to give. So as a result of that, I feel he has basically been misguided, and the leader of the opposition, Mr. Sajith Premadasa, in fairness to him, one must say that he is not opposing everything
For the sake
of opposing, because now when Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa was in opposition, I mean everything for the sake of opposing, they were going to oppose it, and they were opposing it. Now, for instance, you take the East Container Terminal. Now, with regard to the East Container Terminal, for us, I mean the SJB, there wasn't a big opposition because, well, it was started by them, so they continued with it, and they said the government, we will give the necessary support. So that is the type of opposition you need in this country.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's a golden opportunity for the president to work together, especially for us, because we are in a situation worse than 2009 after the war, where the economy has gone down to the lowest levels now. So it is a golden opportunity for all of them to get together. If the president cannot see able people in his team, then it is time for him to look outside, even in the opposition, even in the JVP, get them all in and put in place a proper team which can take this country forward at least for another 2 years.
And he'll be buoyed in all this by the fact that he has the 20th Amendment on his side.
Oh, definitely. No, he has absolutely nothing to fear for us, because he has all the powers. The 20th Amendment has centralized all the powers to him, and if he wants to, at least 1.5 years, 2 years, till we get over all these issues, he can have maybe a national government, and thereafter he can, after the last year for the election, he can go back to what it was. because the paramount importance now is that we need to get out of this problem. The economy has to regain itself. We need to get the tourists coming back. We need to get our people going, the trade to start happening in this country. So without that, for us, I don't think we can ever be able to get out of this situation. So therefore, the president, I feel now, whatever anyone may say, he has another 3 to 3.5 years to box on.
Yeah.
So we cannot change it for us. There is no way you can change it.
Yeah.
So we have to work with this system. So therefore, what I am saying is all parties, even the president, he also must now think anew. Because basically, this government, whatever they have touched for us, every day, whatever they touch, it has become a failure. It has become a disaster. It has become a bomb exploding in their own hands.
And especially when we look back and we look at the prospects that had awaited the president at the time of his election, with this new sort of thing where he was not anywhere political, although obviously he had the backing of the politicians. But when we look at the unfortunate events surrounding the importation of sugar, that is absolutely a remarkable letdown for everybody, and of course the people have had to pay. If we consider that, no one's talking about the fact that the government, before they dropped the price of sugar or the taxes, they actually, some months before that, they raised the taxes from 33 to about 50. They then said, look, we're going to bring it down, and we reduced it to a token 25 cents, 49 rupees 75 down. But instead of the lower sugar price trickling down towards a cup of tea, the benefit was only predominantly with the one company. Predominantly is the operative word, and unfortunately or fortunately, the person behind that company, or one of the main promoters or whatever of that company, or said to be that, is connected to this government in some shape or form.
Definitely.
And that is what is unhelpful. That is unhelpful.
For us now, even this sugar issue, why it surfaced only a bit late, after many months, why it surfaced? Because no one ever thought in their wildest dreams that there would be a tax of about 50 rupees on a kilo of sugar. So it took a little time for the people, for it to dawn on the people. Now, for instance, for us, the oil prices worldwide has been coming down due to this pandemic.
Yeah.
But we never got the advantage of the oil price. Now, for instance, if the government gave a 50% reduction on the duty of oil on petrol or diesel, tomorrow morning, when you go to pump your petrol or diesel for us, you find that the prices have gone down by 50%. Now, that is how you pass it down to the people.
Yeah.
Now, in this instance, these gazettes are, in the stealth of the night. The gazettes are, the prices, taxes are changed, brought down from 50 rupees to 25 cents, in the stealth of the night. And it may have been by mistake that someone has stumbled upon this. Otherwise, one or two companies would have made a colossal amount of money. And you and I know, for us, this advantage did not go to the customer. And the Deputy Minister, Mr. Cabral, it's a shame. And he's insulting the intelligence of the people of this country by coming and saying that, there was no revenue loss. For us, we were 2 months ago or 1 month ago, we were begging for 10 million or 100 million for COVID vaccines. Now, if this money with regard to the sugar, the tax on the sugar, 15 billion, if we had this money for us, we could have paid for our sugar.
Absolutely.
We could have, without going begging. It's a shame for us. And as a citizen of this country, when we have to go begging and asking various other countries, can you give us money to vaccinate our people? And when blatant robbery, daylight robbery is taking place, this is a matter for us which the president must take into consideration. It is, I think it is worse than the bond scam, or it is as bad as the bond scam. So all these people who have been responsible in reducing these taxes and seeing that the benefit have not gone to the people have to be brought before the law for us.
There are several issues that come up as a result of what you're saying. One, of course, is that the government are ignoring comprehensively, and it is therefore unhelpful that the implementing authority, the Consumer Affairs Authority, they had a gazette in place
Yes.
that said you cannot sell sugar for much more than this. And yet the Consumer Affairs Authority turned the Nelsonian eye, the blind eye to this problem. And it is not, there's no changes there. But we had a senior official at the Lanka Satosa being changed, apparently, you know, for something connected with this or whatever. But it's unhelpful. The other one that is also not helpful for good governance, which is what we're trying to talk about here, is of course the whole issue surrounding the bond scam. It is well over a year since this president came in, and Mr. Sabri says that they're having a problem trying to serve notice on Arjuna Mahendran. Well, I'm sorry, but if you can't serve notice at his last known address, you can stick a little advertisement in a newspaper, as I keep pointing out almost every other week, and proceed on an ex parte basis.
Oh, definitely,
if it's not there, it's not there.
I think for us, in a show I came some time ago, all the government has to do is, if he is suspected to be living in Singapore,
Yeah.
get into one of the main papers in Singapore, pay for half a page advertisement, saying that, you know, here Arjuna Mahendran, we are saying, sir, we want to serve summons to you. You are evading all that. You put it in the papers and you come and start the trial here. Because for us, this is becoming a joke.
It is
and
becoming a joke.
and the other thing is for us.
It's also a joke because the person, the Minister of Finance at the time has been arrested, but the minister in charge of the subject of the central bank is watching Netflix every night in the comfort, presumably, of his home. That's his admission, not mine.
Definitely.
Right? So I see, and the others who wanted the money, who went to this breakfast meeting, none of them are before the courts. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, for us now, there, of course, the Attorney General has to be a little more sharp, or has to go into the matter, because as I have read, now Mr. Ravi Karunanayaka has been arrested.
Yeah.
But this subject never came under Ravi.
Well, exactly.
Never came under Ravi.
That's the point.
That's so I don't know how they are going to pin him down on a subject which did not come under his ministry, and it was clearly under someone else at that time, the affairs of the central bank.
At least in the interests of transparency and equity, it would have been helpful if the former minister in charge of the central bank,
Oh, definitely.
also known as the Prime Minister, also known better perhaps as Ranil Wickremesinghe, should have been brought before the court system.
No, because ultimately for us, what I can see is, as has happened on many occasions, now you can see there are so many bribery cases where all the culprits have been just acquitted,
Yeah.
because they have filed wrong charges.
Yeah. But I'm
Or they
wondering whether these are being done because of a lack of knowledge, or is it by design? Is it by omission? What is it?
Carelessness. Because
But we can't afford to be careless
No, I know, but-
when the public's money is at stake.
But for us now, when it comes to the bribery commission, I'm just going out of the topic.
Yeah.
With the bribery commission, there is the new bribery commission act says that even to begin an investigation, you need to get the sanction of the commissioners. So all those cases which they're exonerating or discharging
Is on a technical.
is on a technical issue. So it is basically carelessness. The Director General or the Bribery Commission at that time has not gone into the law. They have just instituted actions at their whim and fancy without going into the law and checking as to what the law should be.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.
And welcome back to Newsline Live. I'm in conversation with President's Counsel, Mr. Maitri Gunratne, former governor as well. Now then, in between all this, we've got environmental issues, conservation issues and all that. But in between all this, a small little jolly thing is happening, and it happened in Geneva. It's also known as United Nations. Now then, subsequent to the vote, we had our own foreign minister articulating a position that actually we won, Sri Lanka won, because apparently the majority of people of the 47 nations, 22 voted in favor of that resolution because they didn't get 25. Mr. Gunawardena is of the opinion that we won. By that token, then he can't be a member of parliament because far more people voted against.
No, Faraz, that is what you call mind-boggling mathematics.
Yeah.
And they completely mishandled this Geneva situation.
Yeah.
And Faraz, this government, and before they came into power, before 2015, what happens is Geneva is somewhere around March. These people wake up only in February.
Yes.
Then they are firefighting from that point onwards. There is no systematic plan as to what they should do to sort this Geneva issue out. For us, if you look at the recommendations which has been made, now this has been promised to be done 10 years ago. So why have we taken so long?
And it is something that we said we would do.
We would do. So why aren't we doing it? So if we have given an undertaking that we are going to do this, for heaven's sake, get it done. Go to them and say, okay, we have done 50%, 60%, fine. They are willing to accept it. But what we do is we don't do our homework. We just don't do our homework. Once the sessions are closed, we close the books. We keep it aside. Come 2022, February, March, everyone is now Geneva fine. So for us, you can never address a serious issue of this nature like this. Now, everyone thought they were going to get sanctions. They were going to impose sanctions.
Yeah.
But luckily that has not happened.
Yeah.
Still, what they have told us, okay, now implement what you have promised.
And I think the key word there is what you have promised.
So,
you have
promised. So for us,
we have
what
promised.
I'm saying is for us, I think, let Sena Council prevent, His Excellency the President should come into this, take this matter personally to his hands, appoint whoever, maybe a force or a task force or someone like this, to do it, because this Gunawardena is becoming a joker. Cabral comes and makes one story with regard to the sugar tent. This guy comes and makes a mockery of himself with regard to this mind-boggling mathematics. So every week for us, ministers are coming and making a mockery of themselves. So this must stop. And I think the President has to now see that this team which he has with him, he cannot deliver the goods for this country. This team is incapable.
Yeah.
They're inefficient. So that is why I am saying for us, it is time for His Excellency the President to go in for a national government, get the best in the business, get everyone and put this country right.
And he, as I said earlier, he can be buoyed by the fact that he has the 20th Amendment on his
Oh,
side.
definitely. He has every power to do it. Because otherwise for us, we are the people who are going to suffer. And I can't understand, you spoke about these environmental issues. Now, this is a man, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is a person who I thought was very much, with environment, with what he did to Colombo a few years ago. I mean, he made it all green and beautiful. So I can't understand, either someone is doing something without his knowledge, or someone has more powers than he himself has, because there doesn't seem to be any control. There doesn't seem to be any control, and I don't know for us whether it is a coincidence, but I happened to travel outstations for cases, and I have noticed a large amount of lorries with logs being transported to Colombo. So I don't know. I mean, whether all this is a coincidence, or whether this felling or this cutting off trees, cutting off the jungle is taking place in this large scale. Because I see quite a number of lorries I happen to pass when I have been coming from Hatton, from Navalapitiya, from Norelia in the past few weeks. I've seen this. So where are we going? Where are we heading? Are we going to, because I know for us, when I was governor the central province, I was governor of the Uva province, the biggest problem in those provinces for those people was during the dry months there is no water for them to even drink.
And yet, with a few more months left, the Umaoya project is still languishing. They need to finish that project because it's threefold. You have agricultural water, you have drinking water, and you have a power product. So 120 megawatts of power, drinking water, agricultural water, over 5,000 hectares of land in Monoragala waiting
for irrigation.
For irrigation.
Definitely.
So instead of doing that, it is a crying shame that this government are doing other things to the environment when they should, when they've got the bird in the hand and they're trying to exchange it for two in the bush.
Definitely. And for us, since you spoke about this Umaoya project, now if you take the Umaoya project, for us, it's a very, very, very good project, because what it does is, at the source of the river, you dam the water, and through tunnels you send it to various other areas, so that you can control a flood situation. So basically, now we have seen Kalutara starts flooding, then the Kalani starts flooding, then Colombo, Paliagoda, Vellampitiya, that whole area is flooded. Then sometimes the Ginganga starts flooding, the Nilwala starts flooding. So all this is because we have no proper water management. But I feel you need a few more projects like this Umaoya project for us, where you can tap the water. We'll say it is raining in Singaraja and the Nilwala is having a huge deluge of water. What you do is you tap it and you channel it through to other areas where there is no water. So this in a situation like this, you can control the flooding and you can maximize the use of water without letting it go to the sea. Now these are projects for us people should be made aware of, and these are projects which should be done, and the water taken to dry areas, especially to Hambanto, to Vellavaya. Now I know when I was in Uva, this Umaoya project was going to do a huge difference, a huge change to especially the Mondragala district. So you need to implement it and finish it. Now the water which is being dammed at Poolpala has to be taken, and they have to make use of this water to the peasant, the farmer must make use of this water. They must get the water for them for the agriculture. Then only you make the full benefit of this project. So for us, these are projects which are very, very good. So and now I can see there is another uproar coming, saying that the Singaraja that I do have to build two lakes.
The ministers now said that won't be happening.
Yes, the 2 lakes and things like that. Now all this for us, people should not just go and start objecting without seeing what is going to happen, what is happening, what is the benefit out of this. Someone without just because some priest and some people, some environmentalists come and say that this is bad, you cannot take it like that. Because sometimes for us, you need to go beyond that. You need to go beyond that, because as a country, for us, we need, the eastern province needs a lot of water. Then the Polonnaruwa, now Polonnaruwa and Anuradhapura, they are getting the water in another 3-4 years. They will be fully self-sufficient with all the water which is coming in. So basically for us, what we have to do is, we have to see that not one drop of water flows to the sea. That is the concept. That is the Parakram Bahu's concept. We should bring it into operation. So the Minister of Mahavali, Minister of Irrigation, Minister of Agriculture, all of these people must get together, and especially the President. He is very, very keen in bringing up the rural economy. For us now, I saw recently that radial tires, the demand for radial tires have increased by 20% because of this COVID situation. So whatever local industries we have, may it be agricultural, may it be industrial, we need to strengthen them for us, and this is a golden opportunity to strengthen them and give them the necessary wherewithal to supply this country and its people, and everyone will benefit. It's a win-win situation for us.
A win-win situation is what we're after. Maitri Gunaratne, thank you very much for being on Newsline Live. It's now time for the primetime news from News First. Take care, have a great evening ahead, and as always, God bless you.